Hello everybody, Darren here, and welcome back to episode 23 in my second Let's Play series for Anno 1800. In the last episode, we worked on creating a more sustainable economy while we also built a luscious new vineyard on swords. Today is finally the day. We're going to fully design out a more permanent investor district while we also continue with new expeditions and research projects. This is also kind of an interesting episode because in between episodes, a new DLC is released, the Vehicle Liveries Pack. And how you obtain this is you can't directly purchase it through Ubisoft Connect or Uplay. You have to instead get Amazon Prime, link it to Twitch, and that gives you something called Prime Gaming. And Prime Gaming basically offers up loot from various different games over the course of several weeks and months, and I guess Ubisoft and Anno are partnering with Amazon Prime and Prime Gaming to offer up their DLC as part of the Prime loot. So you can't purchase it directly, but if you want to obtain it and you don't have Amazon Prime, you could get Amazon Prime, link it to Twitch, get your Prime loot, link that to the store of Ubisoft Connect, and then it'll appear in your game. It's quite the ordeal, but if you already are kind of familiar with the Twitch ecosystem and all of that, it's really quite simple. Essentially, what the DLC offers is vehicle skins. It's all just completely cosmetic. Trains, airships, cargo ships, battle cruisers, ship of the lines, they all have many skins now. Typically, on average, I'd say at least about 5. So let's have a look. We have this cerulean airship, very ornate and lavish, I would say. I actually am not a huge fan of it, but I can see how people would be. It's just, I think it's just so over the top. The next one then we have is the Cream Led Zeppelin, which I love. I think it looks really, really good. Then we have the Imperial Airship. Personally, this is my favorite. This bad boy is what I'm going to be rocking for a lot of our airships, I think, going forward. And then the final one is actually the North Sea Airship. And this one is actually pretty cool, but it's actually a little bit bugged. When you move it, there's a weird kind of tessellation effect that's happening, or something anyway. I guess when the propellers are spinning, they seem to be linked to some of the polygons that are meant for the actual ship design. So I'm not going to be using that. I'm sorry, Ubisoft Minds, I had to do it. I needed to show it off. And I couldn't resist but showing a little bug. It's very rare we get bugs in this game, to be honest. At least very rare that I notice any. Just gotta fix that little bit of the wall there. Anyway, so yeah, so I love the look of this ship. I've actually queued up 2 ships that I don't currently have, a battle cruiser and a ship of the line. You might be thinking, well, I'm pretty sure you have ship of the line. I do, but it's a royal ship of the line. So it's already different in terms of its base statistics. It's technically a different ship. It is a ship of the line, but it's a royal ship of the line, so I can't change its skin. And our pirate ship of the lines as well are a similar situation, right? They're a different type of ship of the line, so we can't change their skins. And to be honest, God, that is so loud in my ear, but it's awesome. To be honest, I love these more than pretty much all the skins anyway, and I'm going to be keeping my pirate ships and my royal ship of the line. Thank you very much. But for the sake of the episode, I think it'd be good just to show it off and see what's there. So I'm making 2 ships currently. They're going to take about 10 minutes, and once they're done, oh wow, that's going quite fast. It's actually that's going wait, look at the time. That's going faster than the time is counted down. I'm on normal speed. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. I don't have any items here speeding that up, do I? Maybe, I'm just kind of curious about that now. Sorry to derail, but curious to see, are we building these any faster? If anyone has any idea how that's happening, let me know. Because look how fast it's counting down seconds. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, you know? That's pretty fast. It's like going twice as fast. Is it because it's powered? Oh, that might be why. Is it because it's powered? Yeah, I guess that would make sense. I guess maybe it's been so long since we've just built regular ships, not from a steam shipyard, that it's... Yeah, because this one is going at the normal rate. That's it there. Okay, right. Figured it out. I was just confused. I was like, wow, it's going like twice as fast. I'm surprised it just doesn't tell you the remaining time is less. You know, that seems a bit weird, but whatever. But anyway, yeah, so building a battle cruiser there. So the only other ones we'll check really quickly. We have the cargo ship. And obviously we have the DLC cargo skin for the freighter, which we've been using before. It's this kind of green skin. And then we have regal plating aesthetic, fording the world's oceans with the golden certainty of an age of prosperity and wealth. So if you want to be a sort of lord of metal and rock gold on everything, you can do that. And then we have the autumnal red aesthetic, which is pretty cool. It's kind of like a crimson ship set. And you can also notice these like kind of rivets and things on top of the ship, and these metal plating that are like slammed onto the edges. So it actually has slightly different... no, it's pretty much the same model, isn't it? Yeah, it is the same model, but I was going to say, it's hard to tell, because sometimes it looks like different things are changing around with the model, but I don't think so, actually. With the flagship, it does, though. So let's jump over to the flagship.
I'd prefer to be...
So the flagship has a bunch of skins now, and that's because there's already two kind of variants. So I'm already rocking a skin called the Imperial skin, I think. So we have the default one and then the Imperial command ship. Now, unfortunately, it escapes me how you get the Imperial command ship. It's something to do with like having maybe the deluxe edition or possibly a DLC, but I think it's the deluxe edition. Unfortunately, I can't remember it. I'm sure if anyone knows in the comments, they'll let us know. Because normally I like to be able to tell you where you can get these things, but I can't quite remember. And you actually turn this on at the beginning of your save, which is weird. Or at least you used to. Anyways, because of that, you'll notice that it has this kind of like water wheel turning thing here on the side, whereas the regular one doesn't, right? So it is actually a different model. It's not just a skin on the model, it's a different model. And because of that, there's two variants for almost every skin there, and whether it's Imperial or not. So we have the North Sea Clipper, which is kind of like a bluish version. And we have Regal Plating, again, where you have that opulent gold plating on the front. We have the Regal Plating, but if you want the Imperial kind of spinning wheel thing, I don't know what that's called. Then we have Regal Plating Aesthetic, Autumnal Red Aesthetic, Autumnal Red Aesthetic Imperial, and then Autumnal Red Aesthetic North Sea version. So there's now three versions, right? We have the default, Imperial, and North Sea, and then there's different variants depending on which one you're going at, because you can see there's little extra lifeboats on the side if you go for the North Sea version. Maybe we should keep it North Sea considering we're in the Arctic, but I'm actually just gonna be lazy and just keep it like this. I love this one. So for me though, what I'll probably end up doing is things that come to the Arctic and ships that are based up here and stay up here, I'll probably change their skins and theme them that way, or I could theme the routes themselves. So it's like the rum routes have a certain kind of look to them, for instance, or something like that. But I like the idea of being like everything that goes to the New World is maybe like the big freighters or something like that, and I don't know, the North Sea obviously for the Arctic and so on and so forth. So I'll try to increase the variety as we come across it. But anyway, don't want to spend too much longer on it. I'll wait for those ships to kind of be produced. But we have a little bit of work to do. So in between episodes, I missed my last episode. Apologies for that. I don't like missing episodes. I've been quite inconsistent lately. But it's because I was trying to design out this area and it just took me far too long. So I actually ended up streaming it on my Twitch channel. On twitch.tv/RepublicOfPlay. And essentially over there, and by the way, if you have that Amazon Prime, if you have Amazon Prime and you have Prime Gaming on Twitch, you can actually drop a sub to anyone on Twitch for free. And they get the regular sub as if you'd bought it like a normal subscription. So, little shameless plug, I've got a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/RepublicOfPlay. Great way for people to just kind of support for free if they've already kind of got Amazon Prime. But if not, if you don't want to give it to me, that's totally fine. But you should definitely give it to someone, just because it is a free... It just basically gives someone a little bit of boost to income, and you're not using it anyway. It doesn't do anything for you, so it's really helpful to streamers and the like. The only issue with it is that you have to re-up it every month manually. It doesn't automatically tick over like a regular sub, so you should... What I like to do, I have it, you know, and I basically rotate around a few different streamers and just give them free subs when I can. Anyway, if you think of it, maybe do it. But it doesn't have to be me, like I said. But I'd appreciate it. Anyways, so I was streaming, and I was kind of looking at layouts and things that I could try and maybe possibly do to make this place kind of efficient. And I've pretty much got my... I didn't actually finish a design on the stream, but I kind of came up with one then afterwards that I've now got in mind. So, but during that stream, and this is why I started this tangent, during that stream, I saw my economy completely tanked. And I was like, oh no, there was a big problem. And one of the big problems was to do with my Docklands in the last episode. Now, everything's pretty good. Again, there's always just a little one or two things that I seem to be making an issue of. And that seems to be that we are consuming too much coal and too much iron ore, just by a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, a very nice chatter or viewer in my stream suggested that we go to Cape Trelawney and actually build the mines out here. So we've got iron deposits and we've got coal deposits all over the place in Crown Falls. And I'm going to turn this into an industrial hub one day. So I thought, yeah, that'd be a great idea. We could just like get a few of these queued up, get some ships going, and then we'll be laughing. So what I'm going to do is we'll hop back here. I'm still waiting on the battlecruiser to be built, but what I'm going to do is make a world-class reefer after this. Just because, again, I'm trying to lean into some of the variety of ships instead of just having the same thing everywhere. In fact, during that stream, we pretty much identified that it's probably just more efficient to use airships. But I'm going to try to use this world-class reefer anyway. And the idea is on this little island out here, so on the map, we're currently out on the very southeastern edge. That little island we conquered off Margaret, but we kept. And people were like, oh, you should design a little city out here, which could be actually quite fun, maybe eventually. But what I'm going to do is use this as a kind of a, what would you call it, a port of entry into the old world. So that Cape Trelawney is right out there, you know, they leave right out here if we want them to. And what we could do is have the world-class reefer constantly just come in from the edge, drop stuff here, and then have a bunch of internal ships carrying things around here. So that's what I'm going to try and do, and we'll see if it works. I didn't get to test and see if it does, but that's the plan. And I don't see why it wouldn't work. So I'm going to just add a bunch of depots.
Is under siege.
Maybe about, so that's 150 right there, and then we'll add maybe, I'll just tuck it in that way actually, why not vary it up a little bit. Just trying to think, does that fit? No, it doesn't, of course. So that's 200, I need to add about another 300, so actually, I said I was going to vary it, but we're very limited to coastline, so I will just have to try to be a bit more efficient. So let's do that. So I've actually been delivering construction material here the whole time. That's why it had some, but it didn't actually have any wood. Alright, so the idea now is that we're going to create a trade route. From Cape Trelawney, from here to the old world, to Null, and Crown Falls. We're going to be picking up ore. We're going to pick up both. I think I just need the coal, but we could pick up both, so I'm tempted to do both. For now, I'll just leave it on coal, and then we'll see how the iron ore is going, because I can't quite remember how that is doing. And then we'll add the world-class reefer to this. So this is going to be a Cape Trelawney to Old World coal imports, I guess. And I'll just have it, I don't know if we have a Cape Trelawney group yet, so I'll create a new group. Create a new group, and then just accept it. And then rename the group. Some people were asking, how do you do this group thing? I've obviously just shown you, but it was with a recent update, so it hasn't always been there. So yeah. Cape to Old World. Alright, cool. Might change it in future, maybe just... Nah, I'm actually happy with that. I need to maybe clean some things up, but it's pretty good. So yeah, there's the route. We don't have the ship yet. We'll get it working on that soon. So, another cool thing has happened before we get to our build. Our build will come later in the episode. We've just gotten the new pier, which we talked about last time. Collect the major discovery. So major discovery, the next thing I want to get... We could either move... Yeah, we need to move to clay deposit. That's it. I just want to be sure that that's what I want to do. Yeah. So, we're going to try and move a clay deposit. The deposit that I want to move is going to be this one here. So the time-lapse isn't going to take 90 minutes. Well, who knows, actually it might, because I have to move all these houses and then move them back, essentially. But if it doesn't complete in time, I will just wait and speed up time until it gets done, and then that's probably where the time-lapse will end. So, just so I can move that out of the way and get it done all in one. Because the economy should be relatively stable where we don't have any issues. And if we have a look at it really quickly, population-wise, we are very consistent. We're very consistent for engineers, workers. So since we've kind of fixed things up, things are pretty good, but not perfect, but pretty good.
Smells here like fresh notebook.
Okay. Smells like a fresh notebook.
Ship constructed.
So we've just got another ship done. That's our battle cruiser. And our ship of the line is here as well. Perfectly timed, as all things should be. Alright, so let's check out the skins on this. So that's actually a regular skin that we have on right now. But now we have the commando skin, which you saw me using a few times before. During the war with Margaret. I think we put everyone under the commando skin. I'm just going to move out of the way of these other ships. Traffic is quite busy down by Lusk, of course. Alright, let's check it out. So, we've also got the Regal plating. Now this, while I'm not a huge fan of the Regal plating for the other things, this one looks awesome. So I think if I was rocking battleships, I would Regal plate them, as it were.
Battle cruiser ready.
Don't hit me, man. Good. Alright. Let's check the next one. So then we have the autumnal red aesthetic. So it's the same description, I think, for the other autumnal red aesthetics. It says, long ago, Commander T.C. Lancy lost a warship to strange storms. Now he insists all ships commissioned by him honor the lost Crimson November. So yeah, so that's basically it. I mean, we have that kind of metal plating. It looks almost like more armor or something, like placed on the edges there. And there's like some bullet holes. That's what it seems like on the edges, because I guess to do with that story of war. I think it looks nice, but like I said, if I was keeping the ship, I would go with that one for sure.
I'd have dealt with this myself.
You
lack the guts to carry it through.
Okay, let's go send the ship off here and we can sell it. Let's come back here and look at the ship of the line. Ship of the line.
Ship of the line reporting in.
Alrighty. So we got the regal plating again. So again, that black and gold aesthetic. Again, very similar to the pirate ship with the black and gold. If we can have a really quick look out on Cape Trelawney again.
That's the going price for one.
Very similar, but this is more wood. I guess it's more dark oak wood and gold. With the black sails. Can't beat the black sails. So cool. What sails do we have on this one? Just the regular kind of white sails. Now, what is cool is the accents on this ship are obviously colored by the color of your company, right? My color is a kind of a royal blue. But if you were playing as a yellow player or a pink player or something, your ship could maybe look even better or worse, depending on those accents, which is kind of neat. So, bombins run out. I might just pop in the opposite to this, but not as much as it was before.
Be reworded like this.
There we go. I don't really want to use the newspaper too much in future. I don't know. I prefer relying on an economy that doesn't use it, I guess.
Time the rigging.
But I don't want it to be negative, so if I can get rid of that, I guess it's good. Anyways, so yeah, so that's that one, and then the last one is going to be the crimson thing again, right? The red aesthetic. Now that, I think, looks so dope. I think that's the best version of the red aesthetic, because it has that black, red, and then it has my blue accents, and then it's also got that kind of silver and grayish look to it as well at the front, so cool. Yeah, I really love it. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think we looked at everything. I probably forgot something. I know the trains are still another thing. Trains are a little bit awkward to kind of keep an eye on, because the way they move. I can't just like move a train out and stop it. But what you can actually do is if you go to change train skin, you can see them all here. So we have the Imperial train, the Yuletide locomotive, Hellhound locomotive, Pale Lilac locomotive. Sorry, Pale Lilac engine, it just says. Yuletide locomotive Imperial, Imperial Hellhound, Pale thing Imperial, and then the North Sea Coaster. That one, in my opinion, is my favorite, but I'm just going to click on use random train skins. So every train that comes out will try to be different, or just be a random assortment. So that's kind of cool. We'll just see a lot of nice variety there. So that's just the default one that we have. But after that, when we see it come out, it should be different. Maybe let's just have a quick look. Oh my god, I just realized. I totally forgot, didn't I? To pick up our... Hang on a second.
A competitor's island.
Oh, I never did it. Oh, I'm a fool. I wanted to run a World's Fair event. Botany and horticulture. Sumptuous. So what do we need? Tortillas. We have 100 available. We need 100. Oh, that's perfect. We're 10 plantains short. Furs were short. Gramophones were okay. And rum were totally fine as well. So that's good. Yeah, but I knew that I was going to have to send a ship out. I thought I was actually going to be out of tortillas, but that's fine. So yeah, we'll just go to the New World, grab what we can over there, and then come back. People are right, though. I should probably just set up a trader that gives everything here, because you can actually check the preparation screen, which is something I didn't realize before. I thought you had to run the thing to see what you need. Alright. Oh, by the way, yeah, loads of people answered me in the comments about how you can make this more efficient with trade unions, so maybe I'll try it in future. I was like, oh, I think you can only get 4 to make it optimal, and then people were like, no, you can definitely get 6. Then others were like, no, 8, you can definitely get 8. And then someone was like, you can get 16. So that was quite interesting to learn that. You can get 16 of these. Now, I don't know if that was 16 for just fur, but people are mentioning, like, you could cover 16 buildings that, like, the lumberjack can be used alongside these, for instance. So that's quite interesting. So maybe I'll try to do that in the future, because we were a little bit short on fur, but we're okay for it now. Right, so back down here. So essentially now I'm just going to be looking to sell the... Yeah, that's on its way up. Sell that as well. I'm just going to sell those to Archibald to get rid of them. We were just looking at the skins for people to see. The ship isn't doing anything anymore. What about this one? This is dropping off different things. Yeah, I'm just trying to think as well. what else do I need to wait on and do before beginning this time lapse? Oh, I've got my little notepad, of course. So do I have bread at the Docklands? I think I did that between episodes. So something I forgot to put back on this was bread. So I've got bread there now in exchange for the fur coats, because fur coats is tier 3. Also, I got an achievement off on that stream by having something in every single slot here. So I was a bit annoyed, actually. It just happened. I didn't really plan it. It just happened, and I was like, oh, damn, I wish it happened in the Let's Play. But just so I can show off my skills, I suppose. Lusk seafood, coal from the Cape. Yeah, so coal from the Cape. So let's go out to the Cape and add those little mines, and that'll probably be, I hope, will fix the final issue. Actually, I just noticed that my research is up full, so maybe, and we've got the expedition. Okay, we do have a lot to do. So let's just quickly grab a few things of
Are we to invest in maritime industrial
research and just keep letting that tick back up. Alright, cool. Just spent about 6,000 there, so that's fine. Alrighty, let's orientate my camera back to normal. There we go. So, there's 2 coal deposits here and here, so we'll just add those. Got plenty of workforce, so there's absolutely no problem doing this. Doesn't really matter what this looks like, it's all going to change, well, one day when we get out here. Iron, copper. Let's just click around to see where the other bits of coal are. So there's copper, zinc, coal, iron, copper, coal. God, there's so many deposits on this. This is why this island's just so OP. And what is it, 25 workers every time, is it? That's 50, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, loads of coal now. And obviously, if you powered this area, then it'd be even bigger. And what we could do, the person was also mentioning, is like you could change all of these ore. I think changing ore is really weird that you can do that. I think the fertility thing makes kind of sense, but changing the ore in a mountain seems a bit strange. But anyway, yeah, the Research Institute allows you to change ores if you want.
Where do we take the stuff without a warehouse? Hide the bottle.
I guess I'm being a bit stingy with those warehouses. Let's just put them closer. There we go. Is that all 7? Nope, that one's not done. Alright, loads of coal. I'm not even sure where this part of the island is. Alright, didn't realize there was like another shelf. Okay, good enough, yeah. Iron, limestone, zinc. Okay, cool. Alright, anyway, I think that's 7. Let me just double check. 1, 2... Oh, this... Sorry, these are cut off apparently. Oh yeah, I haven't extended the road. Alright, that should be it then. That should be it. Alrighty, so with that amount of coal, we're going to have to just increase our storage. I can just do this again. It's kind of a temporary thing because obviously eventually this place will probably have docklands as well. And we can just vastly increase this kind of stuff we export. God, that's so ugly. But anyway. There you go. Huge amounts of storage. Now we have up to 950. Alright, so that allows us to store up a lot of coal. What we need to then change, last thing we need to change then is the coal trade route, which goes from the old world to the Arctic. So that's coming into the old world and going around multiple islands, picking up coal where it can. We need to add in this new island of Null now.
From its voyage.
And then just move it up, I think, I don't know, 6 or 7 points until it kind of looks good. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. So these are going to pass by all that area. Now, adding an extra island is going to slow down your whole route. So we may end up needing to add another ship. But we have plenty, so hopefully that'll be okay as well. Alright, let's sell these ships to Archibalds. No longer need them.
More than ready.
I present my humble duty.
400,000. Not bad. Did it lose its skin? No, it didn't. It'd be funny if you got more for it, because it's like plated in gold. Nice. Alrighty. So how are we doing with this thing? Let's just go check what we need again. So we needed fur, and I'll probably load up on tortillas if I can, and come back with them. So fur we can get down here.
Maneuvering.
So, tortilla. Maybe I'll just get that. That's 100. That'll leave us with 90, actually. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Great, that's on its way back now. Right, so we just got the pier upgrade that I talked about in the last episode. And what we can do with that is upgrade this pier. And I said I would do this one, right? Yeah, I'll just do this one. I'll make sure I'll keep it alive if we end up moving it. What is the ship? It's a chocolate ship. It's Cadbury's. And we're going to now select a good that we only want to come into this port, or this particular pier. So now that we've selected rum, only trade routes with this resource will load and unload here. So, well, after this one leaves, of course. So this ship, for instance, if we just back this away and hit play again, it should now come over here, and I'll just move this one and hit play on the route, and they should basically swap places. And what this essentially means is, because this route is now telling itself to wait until it's fully loaded, it's going to wait until it gets 300 in its ship, only at this pier, and then leave. And any other rum ships are just going to wait behind it. And everything else is free to move on the other piers as best as possible, or as optimal as they can, I suppose. So it just basically is dedicating. It's like saying, like, this is just rum, and only rum ships are going to come here, and all rum ships. Because the issue, as I explained before, is that we could have 3 rum ships sitting at 3 piers, all waiting to be loaded and all taking little bits one by one. It doesn't go like, it doesn't prioritize one ship and say, oh, I'll load this one first, then that one, then that one. It actually like will drip feed each one of them, and it can super slow down your route. So that should help quite a lot, I think. So yeah, that's basically it. But it actually costs more each time. So we've just done it once now, and it costs 5,000 research points. The next time, it's going to cost... Oh wow, Porto Banús has full rum. We don't even let them drink it. How annoying would that be? We don't even let people here consume rum, and their storage of rum is full. You think people would be breaking into the depots out here to try and steal it. But anyway, it also lets us cut down on space. Excuse me. So, like, for instance, if we did it out here, where we make coffee, we probably wouldn't need as many piers either. Maybe. Alright, so getting a little bit more optimal. Things are looking good. Let's just put that back where it was. Right, I think the last thing to do then is going to be the expedition. The rescue mission. This has to be the last part now. Wide, sun-touched lands stretch out before you, long pale glass glittering with the night's rain, while a scattering of trees provides an occasional shade from the already warm orange sun. Before I continue that, sorry, I just need to add that new route that we have. I want to add that new reefer to it. So it's called the Sea Sponge. I have to come up with a name for that. So it only deals with coal. It only deals with Cape Trelawney and coal right now. Maybe in future we'll split it to have iron and coal. We'll probably rarely see the ship, to be honest, because it's always going to be going between sessions. And if we go to Cape Trelawney and we just click this, Cape Trelawney. So there's where it's going out. We want it to go out around here. That'd be much better, be quicker, because it would just go there and go straight out. Now, ideally, I'd also outfit this ship with a propeller or something. And I think I have one up here. Ship items. Yeah, we've got 2 propellers, so we'll just add that onto it. It just helps it a little bit. Ideally, we could get one that actually completely removes cargo slowdown as well. And you can get that by creating it with Nate. So maybe we'll do that in future. It's just so much to do. I'll have to work out what we need later. Alright, anyways, so to continue this mission, or expedition. So anyway, wide sun-touched lands stretch out before you, long pale grass, glittering with the night's rain, while a scattering of trees provides occasional shade from the already warm orange sun. Unseen amongst the dense matted grass, multitudinous, I can't say that for some reason. I know what it sounds like and how to say it, but I can't say it. Anyway, creatures awake to the dawning day, nattering away gaily as the savannah comes to life. A low dell Not a mile away hides a blossoming waterhole, where numerous strange and foreign beasts are gathering before the day's heat truly begins. Nestled in the shadows of a set of monolithic spurs, looming high above the plains, surely with views worthy of a king. Scale the spurs for a bird's eye view, or head to the waterhole. No, check the bird's eye view. The climb is arduous and long, but your top men trace a forgeable path for the other sailors using thick ropes and residues of flour hastily brought over from the camp. At last you reach the topmost spur, a long slab of ochre red stone worn by countless rainfalls and storms. Endless wildlands stretch before you, dust-colored and wind-swept. In the distance, rain clouds swirl over a patch of darkness, and a deep golden hush falls over the land, broken only by the slow ambling of strange, tall-collared, distant animals. A low, threatening growl suddenly echoes behind you, and you turn to face lions, territorially baring their fangs at your crew. You've trespassed upon Pride land. Shoot the leading male with a 35% bonus chance. Intimidate the beasts with loud noises and gestures with an 85% chance, or distract them with food. Let's intimidate them. Acting as one, your crew starts stomping the ground rhythmically, battering the stone with such force that it trembles, fiercely waving their arms in large circles, concealing their terror as best they can. Startled, the lions slowly edge backwards, their low growls no longer threatening but worried, and promptly disband, gracefully bounding up to the stunted prickly bushes where their den must be hidden. Corner the den and smoke the beasts in. Oh my god. I guess so. I don't think we should do that. No skill. Go back to camp. But surely we could get something if we do this. Go for it. Oh, finding kindle dry enough to start a fire proves difficult atop Pride's Rock, especially with recent rains. You struggle to light small piles of damp grass and twigs, but your efforts only attract the lion's attention. A female leaps towards the man struggling with the tinderbox. He ducks backwards, narrowly avoiding a killing blow, only for blood to spurt the ground as a ghastly tear appears in his jaw, his teeth visible through the wound. Oh my days. Your crew take cover behind what small flickering torches they've managed to light and start the achingly slow descent back to the plains with their gored companion in tow.
How many lives have we left?
Oh my god, the morale is so low. Surely we're back by now. I mean, we've had like 6 or 7 different things go on with this. Love seeing this ship, by the way. It just docked there. It's so cool.
Attention for the Admiral.
Alright, World's Fair, how we doing? Where's that ship, by the way? Almost there now. Getting a nice good view of this skin. I need to just take a quick drink while we look at it as well. Ship is quite slow due to the cargo I guess it's carrying.
Offering.
And people pointed out as well, actually, God, my voice, that's why I took a drink, that the Arctic is home to Nate, and there's lots of items up there you can get to make your airships faster. Okay, I think we are pretty much good to go. As long as that trade route is now operational, coal and iron ore should be coming in here. I'm just going to have a quick double check on how that's going. Excuse me. So if we go to the raw material, coal 352 and iron 418. This is basically at its bare minimum. But our first few journeys of that great reefer ship should be... Oh yeah, I forgot to keep moving it, didn't I? Wow, it still hasn't even gotten up here yet? What the hell? That seems unusual. I was reading that expedition for such a long time. You think it would have gotten up here by now. Not looking so good for Arthur's ship here. Can't make a choice about whether or not to engage or move, I guess. It seems to be stuck. That war rages on, by the way. I'm attempting to see what they've left here.
Heading set.
I came here for a reason. Fur. That's what it was. $25. We need 90 or something, don't we?
Maneuvering.
I think I have to go down to this island to get it. So maybe I'll just quickly pick it up.
New orders.
Oh man, we're actually kind of out of it. Yeah, okay then, that's kind of annoying. What I'm gonna have to do really quickly is turn off, tell this not to do its thing. Maybe just transport less for now. So next time it comes up here, it'll grab less to bring back off with it. Basically just low on fur, but I think I've got the time to get what we need.
A comely.
We need 70. Yeah, that's gonna be fine. Alright, so, just really quickly, need to pick up that item. We need to get the propeller that goes on the ship. There we go. And now we can put this on the route, and that should run off and get that coal from Cape Trelawney. And hopefully fix our economy. Alright, that's the first little batch of fur. I think that might be it, though. I think you know what's going on. You don't need to necessarily wait and see. I was hoping to see that expedition's items come back in, but it looks like we might have another thing. And that morale is really, really low. 13%. I'm really quite worried for him. 128 days on the high seas. It's pretty crazy. Sir Charles Rafferty is getting a little scared, it seems. And the whole point of doing that rescue mission was actually to find a guy, I think, that gave us a big bonus or something, but it's been so long I've forgotten what the bonus was even for.
Light path plotted.
Haven't had a look at these guys in a while.
Not so drab and dismal.
Not so drab and dismal at all, friend. How's that population? Let's just check the consistency of that again. It's dipped a little bit. It was at 2988, and now it's at 2933. Now it's at 3088. So hopefully it just stays where it's at now. I think now that Seafood Stew is back up and running, because we built some extra things down there, we should be good to go. I think so anyway. Keep meaning to turn this ship around. Alrighty, I guess that's enough time wasting. Doesn't look like our ship's getting home anytime soon. So in that case... Oh yeah, by the way, I meant to say, like, obviously... Our battlecruiser is a Pier-4ian battlecruiser, so we don't need a different skin for that. Yes! That's all I was waiting for. He's here. There he is. Woo! Alright, cool. After weeks of trials and tribulation, your expedition comes home safe. You've earned a reward for your altruism. I almost said autism. And then I decided to say it anyway. The crew toasts a successful rescue, with all returning to the glad comforts of home. I think I got an achievement or something, did I? Something popped up and I didn't get to see it. Those items, I'm pretty sure we had them all already. So we have a flamethrower, and we got some TNT bombs to use. We had these already. Curious Diary. It was another trap, wasn't it? New expedition. God damn it. So maybe in between episodes, or in between the speed build time-lapse thing, I'll just send this off on another journey. Because, kind of want to start getting through these. Wow, we've got level 3 for the first time. Yeah, I want to do another rescue mission, because that was where we can get that guy from that I was looking for. Alright, so that's going to be it. I'm going to start working now on a big overhaul of this area. And I'm just a bit curious. I wonder, does it matter if I reduce the amount of investors while this is going on, you know? Because that could be a bit of a concern. It might be. So the very last thing to do then with that, what is it? It's just get that last bit of fur. Yeah. Alright, so I think I'll just stop here. I might even stop the recording altogether. Wait until this gets the World's Fair done. See what we get, and then start the time-lapse. So I'm going to actually end the episode here in a way, for me. And then do a fresh recording to just do the time-lapse, and then stitch that in and talk over it at the end. So I guess I'll say goodbye at the end of the episode. Alright, I'll see you guys later in the time-lapse. Goodbye. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in, grab the popcorn. This is quite a long one. And it's actually largely unedited. I think it's about 90 minutes condensed down into about 15. And I'm working from a document, you know, I've got an idea of what I want done. Like I said before, I had streamed a few days previous to this where we're kind of trying to decide how is this promenade outside the front of the World's Fair gonna look. And I actually never finished the design of that. I had some ideas and I had a rough shape. but I never really finalized it. So this morning, as of recording today, I spent about 4 hours finishing off the promenade, and then the thing that actually took a very long time was figuring out where all the houses are going to go. So you can see here around the town hall, I'm basically trying to create more clumps and blocks of houses that are a bit more efficient for the town hall itself. Just because I don't want to be completely wasteful, but obviously the placement isn't entirely optimal. A large part of the radius is covering the World's Fair, and it will be covering this promenade that I'm talking about. So it's not super, efficient, but just while we have houses around it, I wanted them to be a bit more uniform, a bit more blocky. I wasn't too big of a fan of how I did it last time, where these investor households were pushing right up against the cliffs, and were all odd shapes and really weird looking. Because it just doesn't fit the aesthetic of those houses. So creating these blocks but trying to like offset their sizes and making some horizontal, some vertical, that creates a bit of diversity and makes things look a bit more broken up. So I'm pretty happy with that. But for now, what you'll see me doing is I'm just moving houses around a lot, and I'm waiting for the clay deposit to be researched so that we can move it. From the Scholar Institute. Now you can only move one, so we can only I'm going to move this one for now, and hopefully we'll get another one later and move the other one that's in between the workers and the artisans and get that out of there. So when thinking about the layouts for the investors here, all I have to actually consider, and of course we're doing the botanical expeditions every now and then, these messages will pop up. This one was actually really cool, but we didn't actually end up getting anything terribly good out of it, to be quite frank. So for the investor houses, all I really have to think about when building this place is, I want some coverage of town halls, we need power, and then we also need a bank and a members club. So we've got the power in place now, it's large. I needed power to be roughly where it is there, because that reaches all the way to the far end of the the northern part of the cliff. Let's just imagine, when I'm not facing north, but just imagine I'm facing north right now. Straight on the top of the screen is where that power is going to reach all the way to the extents of the cliff, I guess you could say. Anyway, so now we're going to focus on the members club. So the members club is a bit further down. It's not actually going to cover completely everything. And the reason for that is just because of where I decided to put it. I mean, I think I'd really need two. They don't go that far, but I'm just going to have the one, and I think I'll have another one on the bottom of the town later. The good thing I was going to say, though, with this is that it doesn't actually... It's not a basic need, it's a luxury need. So we're only going to suffer a little bit of a happiness problem and a little bit of lacking money. And it's not going to go all the way down, it just doesn't have full coverage. It might be like 60% on some of the houses that are on the extremities. So the investors will be a little tight with their wallets, but other than that, it'll be fine, If it was a basic need, I would definitely make sure everyone has 100% coverage because I want every house to be full. But money is so good that I don't necessarily need every investor paying top dollar all the time. That's fine. So basically going with the duck pond, one of the nice ornate gardens in here, some city lights from the city lights pack, some dining tables out the back, maybe where they're having some lunch and so on and so forth. Little walkway to take you in and around the gardens themselves, and I actually put down a kind of a weird ornament there. I don't know if I ever focused back on it, but it's a water trough. It's at the front on the left as you come in, and my kind of thinking there was that maybe more upper class people would have horses and they might leave them there. I don't know if you ever see anything interact with that ornament though, thinking about it, so not sure if it really fits having a patch of dirt next to the members club like that, but in some ways I think it's kind of cool, the idea that they'll leave some of their horses there or whatever. I know that time has moved on now, where people are probably carrying, they've got their motorized carriages and things like that now, but I still think it's kind of an upper class thing to, jockeys and just the whole kind of culture surrounding horse riding and all of that. So maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I've never been to the race. Actually, yeah, I don't think I've ever been to horse races, but I've known a few people who've been in them. Anyways, the other thing you can notice that I'm doing that's different than before is also going with... God, that is very jarring to hit that screen several times, and I'm just checking my statistics as well. But I'm putting down fences to block it off. So previously, like I said, I think I used to have all these houses jutting up against the cliffs, but now I've kind of got a bit more uniform layouts going on. But then I kind of cordon them off with fences at the back, so it's like they're actually not supposed to go up against the cliffs. They're not supposed to just walk right next to the cliffs, because that's what looked weird before. The investor houses where you'd see people outside them shopping and stuff, and they're literally 2 feet away from a massive cliff edge. So now there's fences that lead all the way up as well, where I could fit them in anyway. So that expedition actually returned. That one came back really quickly, and we just got 3 kind of 2 botanical items and then 1 character item. weren't really that useful. I think we had 2 of them already anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But there you go. I'm moving the clay deposit. So I decided to move it over towards that mine near where the shore is over on that side. And that's probably where I'll move the other 2 as well if we ever get to that stage. I was going to build another propeller for that reefer ship, but I decided against it. And I think I'm going to go with the Great Eastern Pyramid or just another clay deposit. Anyways, with that gone, now I can like push up the power into a bit more of an optimal position and start like laying out the houses again to kind of fit with, like I said, not pushing everything up right to the edges of the cliff, although some of them do come pretty close, but they all should have fences that kind of guard them from that. So in the center, back to this kind of promenade, I guess we'll see that in a moment, but a lot of the houses that I'm leaving there in the center are just temporary. I'm just moving them there for now. While I was streaming, I actually decided to move every investor house really far away and then bring it all back. And my god, that took a long time. I think it took me like 30 minutes just doing that while interacting with the chat. Huge waste of time. So this time I'm just moving things almost like a... I don't know, what would you call it? So I was going to say like Tetris, but not really. Just moving things out of the way temporarily and then moving things back in. And that seems to be just a little bit faster as well. So let's see. So that power is in place now. I'm pretty happy with that. The members club is pretty much in place. And we've left a big gap, kind of starting to form that big gap in the center now where the promenade is going to go. And this other town hall is also, I think, in place. And the bank is in place as well. So doing good. Putting down those fences, just guarding off those investor households, making sure that our radii don't overlap. And see where we can fit it in to get a little bit more optimal coverage. It doesn't quite cover the power plant, unfortunately, because like I said, on the very southern part of where we're looking right now, on the very bottom of the screen, some houses are going to have a little power problem. So I'm going to have to either supply them with power some other way, or get another town hall and get some item that gives them power, or get something that maybe extends power range. I don't know if that's a thing. I'm guessing it probably is. And as you can see here, I'm just trying to mess around with offset layouts. I'm trying to see, like, can I create more L shapes, H shapes, things like that to make things look a bit more interesting. Trying to break things up, but I'm pretty much down to the last little pieces of investors down here on the bottom now, before we'll get to the actual beautification, the ornaments and such. So now I just create multiple blocks of 8, so 4 on top, 4 on the bottom, and the reason for that is it's because it actually works really well with like this clamshell design is what I'm going to call it. Where you have like 4 across, 4 down, but then a gap open, and we'll see that in just a second. So there's my 3 blocks of 8. And then on the bottom of that, I should be able to fit in then. And as you can see, I just start to offset things. I'm like, okay, well, that's 3 horizontal, so now I'm going to do some vertical ones. And this is the clamshell thing that I was telling you about. And some of these houses are having a problem with, at the very, very bottom there, a problem with the power. So I could turn the clamshell, the N, into a U, you know, if I rotate it 180, and then maybe I'd be able to get the power, but I like the look of it now. I like it as you go into the investor district. It's kind of like inviting you in almost, rather than guarding you off. So I noticed that my layout wasn't perfect. There was something wrong with it, and I say perfect. I mean, it's just a random design, I guess. But I meant like it wasn't matching my initial plan, and that was because there's 2 houses I needed to slam in up towards the cliffs on the top left. So I decided to run another World's Fair, because everything's in place now, nothing should move. And obviously as things were moving, I ran out of, or investors kind of fell down for a while they lost power. But now they should be totally fine. So here's the time now where I'm actually building out this large promenade in the center. And when I was flipping the camera around there a second ago, that was me basically trying to get some goulash, because we don't actually make goulash anymore. In fact, we cut out the chain entirely, I think, because now we just bring in canned food through Docklands. But this World's Fair required goulash. So on the bottom left, I've got 2, or just the bottom, I should say, I've got 2 big World's Fair gates, and then 2 World's Fair towers either side. And then I've got a nice equestrian statue as you kind of come in. And then I'm using the new fountain architecture that we got from the World's Fair architectural exhibitions to kind of surround a, garden in the center. Now, I was trying to get a specific garden with the botanical exhibition, which is called a topiary garden. I have a topiary avenue in that bottom part now, but a topiary garden has all these cool, like, hedge carvings, I think they're called. Haven't got one yet, so when I do get one, I'll probably replace that, because right now it's just like, it looks like just a straight up walkway. But I could actually close that fountain loop if I get the one I want, maybe. That being said, leaving it slightly open allows people to walk through. You see some people sit inside as well. Anyway, as you go in there, you can see the World's Fair then Annex, the small building there. And then at the front of it, I decide, okay, we're getting really close up to the World's Fair now. So what I want is some restaurants, some dining areas and things like that. We have the more ornate beauty areas at the bottom, and then like where people are actually enjoying or coming out from the World's Fair, going out for a snack or whatever the case might be. That's where they're going to be serving food. And then there's billboards on the way up as well, so you can kind of know what's know what's being advertised or whatever in the actual place itself. I went with the Sunken Treasures and Botanical Garden billboards just because it seemed to fit. And then where I could, I put down more gates, some channel crossings for the fountains to lead out to gates as well. Trying to break up the monotony, I guess, of the paving with some mosaic tiles. Just to make things look a little bit better. We've got the drinks shack then a bit further up, and this is where I'm putting the tables down. We've got, the regular bar tables, some single tables, and then some couples tables as well. No family tables, not in this one. And then capping it all off with the, I actually can't remember what it's called. It's like the Founders Monument or something, where it lists the 4 previous games, which I can't do off the top of my head right now. But that's that area done, basically. So either side of the bank I've got 2 monuments in and then 2 city lights. Now, one thing I'm going to have to do, I didn't at the end of this episode, or I'm not going to walk around. Like I said, I'm really strapped for time, so I just didn't have time to open up recording, open up the game again, and go in and walk around and add more to the end of the video. In the next video, though, I'll probably do a little walk around, take a bit more time to look at it. I've taken some screenshots that I'll probably post just at the end of the video so you can see exactly what that area looks like, because I know I'm flying over it very quickly. In this second town hall area, I must admit I was being a little bit quick here as well, so I decided to put down a market and a garden next to this area, but this is definitely open to changing in the future. Could do something else with it perhaps. Obviously the town hall has to stay where it is, but open to ideas of what could be at the back of the town hall. I thought about a playground or something, the one that has the white tiles at the bottom, that big playground, but largely thought against it and put down a market and a garden and some extra stuff. This is really interesting, actually. Oh, I think so, in terms of ornaments. Anyway, that light fencing that you can do, the steel fence lighting, I never realized it until earlier today, that the canopies for the farmers markets and all these like different market stalls actually fit with the railing perfectly. So I think it looks really, really good to attach them inside of the railing. I used to think, like, why would anyone just have like straight lines of steel? But it's the idea, I think, is that you dress it with the actual canopies laced over it. That's why it looks like that. So it's really cool. Only 3 of them actually do that. So it's really, really nice. So we'll have a walk around that area as well. It's a real market street because of it. It's all lit up at night. It looks really, really nice. So at the front of the bank there, or the back of the bank, I'm not sure which way it faces actually. Either way, on one of the sides of the bank at the exit or entrance, I decided to put down a load of telephone poles, or not telephone poles, telephone boxes. And because it's like they're coming out to make calls, important calls and things like that, so I think that looks really cool as well. And yeah, as you can see, that's basically it. These are the screenshots of the city as well, so I look forward to seeing what people think, but it might be a couple episodes before I get to react to any feedback. But yeah, let me know. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you want to support this series directly, you can click the join button to become a channel member. Doing so will get your name in the credits, as well as loyalty badges and emotes to use in the comments. If you don't see the join button, it means the video is being copyright claimed, but you can still join from the channel page on desktop. You can also link your account to our Discord to get a special role on there that will give you access to the Senate House and a few other perks.